Okay, I honestly had no plans to record this video, but I came across this project and I figured that I'm not a YouTuber or anything, but I wanted to record this because this definitely needed to be recorded, to be shared with the rest of the oh shit, my bad. Hold on. Yeah, here we are. So I came across this project. It was an assignment that was given to one of the potential. I mean, this was an assignment given to someone specific. I do not know that person, and this is what they turned in. And the project looks something like this. So we have a folder called secure user management and stuff. So the idea of the project was really simple. You were supposed to create a project either in React or whatever front end framework you want to use, and you were supposed to use a state management library like Redux or Pinia. And the final requirement for the project was that you must have um, a page that is secure in a sense that requires authentication or authorization and or authorization. So we were the student or the applicant was supposed to build a project. It's a very straightforward project. There should have been a welcome screen of sorts that is only visible after you log in or after you're authorized. Right, so this is what the person turned in, and I was checking the project. One of my friends was checking the project along with him, and he told me that, dude, something's not right because you he said that check this project, and which I did. The first thing that you realize whenever you open a new project, either you clone it from a repository or it's just that you get it from a friend or something, or you're checking out a new library. The first thing that you want to do is you want to go npm I and install the packages. I mean, from the package.json file. It's a JS project, so you want to install all of the dependencies. But to my surprise, I got an error. Right, there's no such file. It's like, what is happening? There's no package.json file. And then I look at the structure folder structure right here. I look at the folder structure right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. There's no package.json file, but I see a TypeScript file which is userstore.ts, which is weird, right? It's a TypeScript file which is using Pinia for state management, and it sits at the root level. There's no index file, nothing. Sorry. And then there's a Tailwind config file right here, which is pretty obvious. It's pretty normal, straightforward. It is copied directly from Tailwind's website, from their documentation. But then there's also a package log.json file. There is a package log file for some reason, right? The project was not actually called Goofy. I gave that name here. So there's a package.json. I don't think it was there earlier. No, it was created after I did the npmi. So let's forget that. And next there was this file with no extension, no file extension. So what kind of file is it actually? Because look at here, it just says secure user management dashboard, not even board. It's just dashboard. That's just that. So I was rather skeptical about it, but I clicked on the file. But when I did so, it was just this. It essentially describes what the folder structure it's supposed to be like. I'm still unaware why as to why userstore.ts and tailwind config file sits outside the source direct. I don't know why these two files exist here. Maybe Tailwind, it's okay for the Tailwind config file to exist at this particular point in the project, but this store file should not exist here. Okay, now mind. So, and honestly, if I was to do a little bit of nomenclature, I wouldn't do it like so. I wouldn't use camel case to name store files or any kind of files, to be honest. I would go something like this: user.store.ts. That would make more sense. Let me undo it because anyhow, this project is not going to run. You'll figure out why. But let's go back. Let's go back to this secure user dashboard management file. Come up here. Let's have a look. So in the according to this particular schema of or directory schema, as you want to call it, there should be three folders inside source. One should be components, one should be pages, and then should be stores folder. Inside the stores folder, we should have this user store file, user store.ts file, in the pages folder, we should have sign in, sign up, and dashboard tsx files. So this this essentially is a React project since it's using tsx, right? I would assume. Then in the components there is a protected route.tsx file, modal and auth form. So that's pretty much it. Let's go into the source folder. I expand the source folder and then I figured out, wait, hold on, what's going on? Let's get rid of this package.lock JSON file. I'll move it to trash. There's a package.json file inside the source folder that sits in here, right? Like in this particular folder, there sits a package.json file. So let's do that. Let's go inside source and then do an npmi. Okay, so now npmi is running. Okay. Okay. Oh no, it didn't. No matching version found for Pinia plugin persists in most cases. Your dependency, or in most cases, you or one of your dependencies are requesting a package version that does not exist, which is okay. Maybe I guess if I go to JSON file, let me let's just how can we do that? Okay, let's forget about running the project because it's funny in its own self. So apart from the package.json file, what else do we have? We have a router.tsx file, which essentially describes the entirety of the routes and everything else. And see, so this is taking a sign in, this is consuming sign in from this particular directory, which is .pages / sign in, and then sign up and dashboard as well. And then it is also importing protected route from components protected route. I don't see any of these folders. I don't see the look at the directory here. There's an index.css file. I don't see a pages folder. I don't see a components folder, or it's nothing like the file that they like how this particular person has described the project or the directory structure, which is pretty weird. So I head on to the main.tsx file again. I don't see any of these files. It's like create pinia. I mean, these are imports from that will essentially come from the different npm packages, but the npm package in its own self is not working. npmi didn't work. Maybe I'll have to fiddle around and juggle which version works for this particular project, but I'm not going to do that. But anyhow, so it's just calling the router provider and it's given the router. Okay, and we're creating a root DOM and then we're rendering that. And then we're also telling that use Pinia plugin persisted state. Okay. Anyway, it gets a little bit more funny. But then we have a little bit of CSS, index.css. It is essentially initializing Tailwind. That's it. But then I checked, there's another source folder inside the first source folder. So if you expand it, you realize that there is a folder called store inside it, right? Within the first source folder, there's another source folder. Inside that source folder, there's a store folder, right? And in that store folder, there are two files. There is the user store.ts, and there's also another source folder. So I expanded that the third source folder, and I realized that there is another folder called services inside it, and a file called http service.ts. Let's have a look at this. It's okay. It's making some API calls to /login /register and /users, where is and it's the base URL would be recrest. Okay, that's fine. Okay. But then, to my surprise, there is another source folder. I expand that source folder, and there is there is another folder called components. Within that folder, there is a file called protected route.tsx. Let's have a look at that. And it's just this. right? And it's essentially user dot token children. I have no clue what he's doing. This code does something. It's protecting routes. Okay. Then there's one more thing within that directory. It's another source folder. I expand that folder, and to my fucking surprise, there's another folder inside it. It's called Pages, and in it there is a file called signin.tsx, which is essentially the UI and the little bit of logic here as well within the UI of making a. I'm sorry. Okay, he's doing something. He's handling somewhere. Okay, and lo and behold, there is another source folder. I check that. I expand that folder. There is another pages directory inside this source folder, and then there exists a sign up. There is there is a signup.tsx file, which probably is the sign up UI. Which okay, yes, right. Handle submit button, pretty same standard thing. This is how we should structure our software, folks. Then I realized there another source folder. I checked that there is another pages directory, and in that finally there's just one file which is dashboard.tsx, and this is quite possibly the weirdest and the most horrendous thing that I've come across. I'm so sorry. In a long while. Fuck, I'm gagging. I might have gotten food poisoning. Maybe I don't know. What is this? And I was so you know, I was so baffled as to wait, hold on, what the hell is this? I had to check the directory. I had to check the folder itself. So I quickly went on to here. It's like, maybe is my VS Code acting up? Is this some new structure that React is following? Is it some new structure that Next is, forcing for you? Okay, this is how you want to structure routes or anything. But no, I have no idea what the hell is this supposed to be. And I checked the like in the file explorer. I checked. It's actually like so. There's a source folder. You go inside. There's a store folder. Use a store, and then inside that is a source folder, services, the service file, and the source folder. And then there's a component folder. Inside that there is a protected route file, and then another source folder. Keep look at the directory here. Pages, sign and form and source folder. Pages, sign up and source. Pages, finally the dashboard. So if I want to copy its absolute path, right here, and can we copy this? And I'm not super sure if I change. Oh, hold on. There was an option to copy the path of it. Wait, yeah, it should be here. Yes, there you go. There you go. I can copy this. Okay, I cannot copy this entirely. I don't even know what to say, what to think of this. This probably what like feels like to me is this is all generated code. This is not actually made by someone properly. This is not, someone didn't actually put in a lot of effort into making this. They just went on to some AI tool probably and tried to just ask that particular AI to make this project for me or some shit like that. I'm severely unaware what would have been the case, but this quite possibly it has to be the weirdest thing that I've come across, and I just wanted to share this with you. If you guys have any idea what where how is this even possible to do share your stories in the comment. I'd love to read. And if you have reference to something that might shed some light onto it, please do that. I'd love to know about it. Honestly, I would absolutely. By the way, I got some Hot Wheels, so that's fun. I'm gonna I'm gonna end this video here, man.